Good morning, Chicago Cubs fans, and we are back with another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. The Cubs lose the game yesterday, 5-1. Shota did his job, and the score. Although it seems like the Cubs just didn't have a chance, they were in this game until the seventh inning. One swing of the bat, I believe by Spencer Steer, made it 4-1. And with the way this offense is playing, it just seemed all out of hope after that one. So we'll talk about the game briefly. We'll preview the game going on later today as well. But just a couple other of news and notes that I've been thinking about here as the Cubs continue to struggle. We'll talk about Jed Hoyer speaking to the media. So if you guys are enjoying the content, you know what to do. So Jed talked to the media yesterday and gave some very, interesting quotes. I think he was trying to take accountability in the sense, but it's just kind of hard for that when, I don't think there's really any accountability to be had. Like, there's accountability to be had, right? Like, I'm not denying that, but he just signed an extension. I don't think the Ricketts have any interest in just letting him go if this season goes to crud. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's even a possibility on the table. So, again, I know the comments are like, Jed got his bag, the Ricketts got their money, they're all happy, etc., etc. I do think Jed has the best interest in this team. I do think he wants to make all the moves necessary to win a title. I think it's like 40% that there was nothing really out there for us to get. And, it just kind of, it's all going very badly right now here in the Chicagoland area. And, entering the game yesterday, this Cubs team, they have 65 wins. I don't know if any of you remember, but entering August 5th of 2016, that Cubs team had 66 wins. So, not calling them the 2016 Cubs because that team was historically great on a lot of different levels. But, again, just for context, like, this team is doing okay. We are in a rut. There's no doubt about it. We're going to get to the offense here in a matter of minutes. But just remember that it's a game of ups and downs. Rock bottom just feels like it keeps getting lower and lower, though. Like, I totally understand Cubs Nation, but all right, here's what Jed said to the media yesterday regarding the Soroka deal. He said, given the market, given the asking price, we felt it was a good bet to make. Right now, it's not looking like a good bet. It is not, Jed. It is not. Doesn't mean he won't help us the rest of the year, waiting on the medical stuff. So, obviously, I don't like hearing that. I don't like hearing that, Jed saw all these things and still went with it, like, I get it. I am okay with the fact that we did not go and get ourselves a frontline starting pitcher because I truly believe there was not a frontline starting pitcher available. I don't know if anyone saw what Mackenzie Gore did yesterday for the Nationals, but he gave up 8 runs in 3 innings. We would be beyond livid if he was a Cub and he did that for us in his first or second start as a Cub. We would be beyond livid. So, the prospect capital that we gave up, I'm still okay with. I don't think Christian Franklin had a chance to make this team anyways. Could Fernando Cruz have in 5-6 years? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure how that's all going to play out. But, Jed said, hey, this is going to be on me. And that's great, Jed. But how do we know actions are going to be taken for the accountability? That's my question. I don't know how you're going to be punished in the sense. They're going to let you spend more on free agency? Because that's not what we fans want. We already pay $20 for a beer. We want some quality players on this team. No doubt about it. So, it's not looking good right now. Obviously, and Andrew Kittredge gave up that 3-run homer yesterday. Just not a good look right now for the Cubs. Again, it's August 6th, so I'm holding out hope. But if we enter September 5 back of the Brewers, I've seen collapses before. I just don't know how this Brewer team is going to collapse. They are absolutely playing impeccable baseball. They are not missing a beat. They lost Jackson Chourio, their prized possession, and they still are not missing. But hopefully we are having some retroops join the club here soon. I have been waiting all year for Javier Assad. Just that oblique injury has been nagging him. So hopefully Javier can get his rehab right, he can get healthy and get back up and help this team immediately. He is set to have a rehab start in Iowa. I believe that is going to happen tonight. There was a highlight last night of Miguel Amaya driving in 2 runs as well. I think he is a big piece of this team that we are missing. I think Reese McGuire has done the best he could to step in. Carson Kelly's kind of getting a little more overexposed. I really like Miguel Amaya, and I think Miguel Amaya was a bigger part of this team than we realized. He really contributed to a lot of success the Cubs had early on. So hopefully he can get back. It's going to take a few games to get right, but he was one of our best hitters with runners in scoring position. He was a real staple in this Cubs lineup. So I'm excited to have Javier Assad rejoin the team, Miguel Amaya rejoin the team, get healthy for this postseason push. You know, there's been some comments saying, hey, maybe we're just a wild card team, and you know what, maybe we just are. You know what, honestly, with me, I'm okay with that. I don't mind being the wild card team. Wild card teams do damage in the postseason, okay? As long as we come in playing the best baseball the Cubs can play, I think we have a chance to be very competitive. Now, I don't think we're this bad of a team. I'm not sure if we're as good as a team as we were in April, but I do think we're somewhere in between, and if we're somewhere in between, that means we're one of the best teams in baseball. Plain and simple. So, have to keep that reframe. We are just not playing that way right now, but it's going to turn around, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, it's going to turn around, but, you know, historically speaking, these past 2 seasons, the seasons we've ended 83 and 79, this team is trending like it, though, right? They start off really, really good, right? Really, really good. Those 23 and 24 Cubs. And then they kind of pitter-patter out as the season goes along, leading to a very disappointing September performance. I don't know. Maybe the pitter-pattering is happening now, so this offensive struggles turn around. But it's not looking good. It's looking like history is repeating itself. I don't want to think that, but again, these are the trends. This is what my eyes are telling me. I could be very wrong, and I hope that I am wrong. But again, it's not a good look. We are 4 back of the Milwaukee Brewers as it sits. Like Ian Happ has said, there's plenty of time. This team seems very, very calm about this, which, you know, I don't know how to take that personally. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I just, I'm at a loss for words at how this team is performing as it sits. You know, I know this team, they're like, hey, the pitching is not the problem, okay? I understand Andrew Kittredge gave up that 3-run homer yesterday, and, Valencia blew a save on Saturday. Guys, in tie games or 1-run games, occasionally the bullpen's going to do that. This bullpen has been pretty steady since the middle of May. I'm okay with this bullpen, but it needs support from the offense. And the starting staff specifically, the ones that we really, really wanted, we wanted more support for because due to injuries and stuff. Tyone, well, he had a rough start the other day in his rehab assignment, but he'll get back into it, right? And then, obviously Javier Assad, he was really, really good for us these past 2 years. So hopefully he can come in and provide some much-needed support. Give Jordan Wicks a shot, anything. But Shota did his job yesterday. Matthew Boyd did his job on Saturday. Those have to be wins. Plain and simple. Have to be wins for this Cubs team. There's no way about it because they are out there shoving, right? Shota, 7 innings, 1 run. That is plenty for you to win baseball games, okay? I'm not asking you to drop 10 runs, which is kind of what I'm scared of today, right? I think the Cubs, again, knock on wood, they haven't been swept all year long. That might change today, though. The way this team's playing, that might change. But again, it's the major league team. It's the major league theory, right? In the sense of once one team takes 2, you can't fake that desperation for the third. This Cubs offense could explode today, and I don't want them to drop 10 runs. I hate seeing that. It's like they're bottling it up for an explosion. It's like, hey, why don't you try your best to score 5 runs? If you score 5, that's what made that 2016 team so good. Is yes, did they lose games? Yes, but you know what? They scored about 4 to 6 runs every single night. Obviously, some nights they only scored 2, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm saying on a general basis, they did their best to score 4 to 6 runs, and you will win plenty of baseball games if you can do that. So this offense is in an absolute rut. PCA looks lost at the plate. I'm very happy about Willie Castro. He's providing a lot of necessary depth. Kyle Tucker looks absolutely confused. He was at Murphy's bleachers yesterday, which again, I know it doesn't mean he's re-signing here, but I'm glad to see himself immersing himself in this community. I think he really likes being here. I just hope that something. I don't know if he needs the right night of sleep. I don't know what. It's just beyond confusing how this fantastic hitter of base, he is a good hitter. I don't care what the numbers are telling you. He is a good hitter of the baseball. He's just disappeared. He's just absolutely disappeared this past month. But he's too good of a player for it to not turn around. And, Seiya, I don't know what his deal is. The discipline's all gone. What made this team such a threat early on is their discipline. The way they worked the opposing pitcher, it's all gone now. So, I don't know if they need that day off Thursday. I don't know if the moon needs to align with the sun. I don't know what this team needs, but they need something. And, I saw a comment the other day, Moises Ballesteros. He has been the only spark I have seen these past 2 weeks. Him with that bases clearing double, and if you want to argue Justin Turner, that's fine with me, but Moises Ballesteros being called up that next day after the Brewers, the 2 losses to the Brewers, Ian Happ, phantom IL stint, call him up. He provided a spark to this team. So I don't know what the Cubs need to do. Call up Owen Casey. Call up Moises Ballesteros. Let's make something happen. It's only 4 games. It's only August 6th. We do have 5 of them against the Brewers starting in, I believe, a week from Monday. But a lot can happen between then, right? We could enter that series tied with them. We could enter that series 8 games back of them. It could get chaotic here. And you know what? There needs to be a sense of urgency with this team. So that's going to do it for Cubs Daily. I hope you all have a fantastic Wednesday. Cubs play a day game today. I believe it is Kid Cade on the mound. So hopefully we can get that W because this team desperately needs it, especially the way that they have been doing business here recently. We need to provide an offensive spark of sorts. The Brewers are absolutely taking care of business of the Braves. Fun note, the Braves have their ace going today, Spencer Strider. But again, the way the Brewers are playing, I don't think any of it matters. It feels like none of it matters who they're playing. Yeah, and guess who we're facing? We're facing Andrew Abbott, who's 8-1 with the 2.15 ERA. So that's going to be an absolute battle. It's going to be Quintana versus Strider. So hopefully the Cubs can gain ground today. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Cubs Daily today. I hope you all have a blessed Wednesday, and I'll talk to you soon.